Well, guys, welcome in. First live stream. First live stream in a little bit. Gonna be going over some news here on this Sunday night. I really don't need this on right now, honestly. I'd rather leave it off. Just leave this off for a little while. I like when the light's off, it's easier to record or live stream. Trump building another building. I thought he was renovating the ballroom. They said he was going to pay for it. He's also recently announced with that interview with Welker today that he's not going to be accepting his 400K salary, which we knew, but so that's another thing with him. Hey guys, what's going on? I saw about Alcatraz. I visited Alcatraz back in 2016. Unique experience. I was younger, so it's different when you visit a historical site and you're younger. You really can't take it in fully or appreciate it fully, I guess. But I mean, do they need Alcatraz open? They don't have the proper number of jails in California. They gotta up it. I also saw this thing with Scheinbaum saying that she rejected Trump's proposal to deploy military to fight the cartels. And I responded to this on uh, X, somebody's accounts. And I was like, well, the cartels are the government. They're intertwined. I don't know what the exact number is in terms of the amount of people that the cartels have offed in terms of the elections within Mexico, but let's just say whoever gets elected is going to be heavily influenced by the cartels. So it's almost like you have to take on the cartels without government assistance because the government is the cartels. It's the same thing. So it's tricky. I mean, the cartels, it's not going to be an easy thing for Trump. It could end up being a bit of a problem, almost comparable to like a Middle Eastern situation where you remove cartel leaders and it creates a power vacuum and just more animosity against the United States. I mean, I understand it's a very ambitious idea by Trump, and he's kind of got this new age thinking where he's trying to go after certain things that other presidents wouldn't go after, like the Greenland stuff and this, but I don't know. She's worried they will take her out. Oh, definitely. They have to be controlled. I mean, think about how many people the cartels has gotten rid of. Look at this. J.B. Pritzker, Jar Jar Binks. What is this? Han Solo, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Obi-Wan Kenobi mixed with Jar Jar Binks. Did you see the CNN interview with the cartel gang member? Yeah, he was like, he said he respected Trump for what he was doing. CNN asked you, like, well, what do you think of Trump labeling you guys terrorist organizations? He's like, times are tough right now or something. It was kind of a strange answer, but it's just crazy the way that they live in Mexico. He's like, he needs a voice changer and everything to hide his identity. It's very interesting. Trump places 100% tariff on any and all movies coming into the country produced in foreign lands. Well, that might be a response to what China is doing about tariffing the movies that come into their country. How have I been? I've been fine. Just making some videos. Did a 9/11 video, but it's been real rainy. I mean, you could just tell with like MLB games this entire weekend. It's been a washout. It's like one of those weekends in May where it's just real rainy the entire weekend. It's very overcast. We got a lot of greenery coming up, a lot of stuff growing. My grass is really long. They couldn't cut it because on Friday it was just, I mean, they had a window to cut it, but they didn't do it because normally they cut it on Friday. But we had a lot of like dandelions, a bunch of crap growing. It's all dead, but it needs to be cut down now. So I'm not even, I mean, it's interesting. Our climate is changing on like Thursday. It's like rain, and then straight sun starting on Thursday, which is pretty typical. I mean, you'll still get a decent rain here into late May, I would say. Did you see Portnoy bitching? Yeah, that was insane. He's like, we're going to send them to Auschwitz in Germany. What? He doesn't even know Auschwitz is in Poland. But yeah, he got really angry about that. But I mean, he was talking about the anti-Semitism that he said that, and that is just what it is. And this is something that I'm going to have to be more cautious with when it comes to my YouTube channel, especially these live streams. Everyone keeps talking about like this summer race war or whatever happens because we saw what happened in 2020. But in 2020, X was It was not free reign like it is now. So I'm guessing there's going to be a lot more direct conflict on social media. And the amount you're allowed to get away with on X is like here, and on YouTube it's like here. So it's a big difference. And I can't lose this channel. So it's going to be hard for me to kind of navigate that when talking about demographics, and because that seems like something that people are going to be discussing this summer. I don't know. I mean, hopefully not. I don't want anything crazy to happen. I'm just saying, based off of the trends that I'm seeing with the race stuff and the Medcalf thing, and now this new thing that came out with Hendrick, the woman who said the N-word, and white people donated her money. And so this is something to where it's like, well, it seems like it's gonna be a big thing this summer, but as someone who comments on it, it seems like it'd be a tough thing to navigate considering how free reign X is compared to YouTube. So I don't know. Did you see the UK local election results? I saw the Reform Party got a bunch of looked like the Reform Party won a bunch of, I don't know if it was seats or however their elections are done. Any tariff news was outside all weekend. No, there's no tariff news. There's no new tariffs. You're not going to get a tariff deal on the weekend. With the news cycle, you're not going to get a ton of news on the weekend. It's just the reality. I mean, you because of it is 24/7 now with social media, but you're still going to get very light news normally on the weekends. That's just how it is. When will the deals start to be announced? Needs to be soon. Yeah, no, I think it will be soon. But we just don't know exactly. I mean, within the next few weeks, hopefully. I can't give an exact prediction because they never say how close they are. Sometimes, I mean, Charlie Kirk tweeted out last week that they got a deal done with India, and it turned out to be false. But if he's tweeting that out, they probably have to be pretty close. YouTube is the best. I know it is, man. That's the thing with YouTube. It's just by far the best. It's just the best interface, best analytical viewer to look at all of your numbers and things like that. Did you get your 100K plaque? I got it a while ago. I got it maybe. I mean, they'll send it to you. Once you get 100K subscribers, it took me maybe like 2 weeks for me to receive it, I would say. Romanian elections went well. Yeah, I heard about that as well. Heard about Romania. Trump talking about donating 400K salary. Reopening Alcatraz, substantially enlarged. Wow, so he really wants to reopen it. We'll have to see if that ends up happening. We're also getting a rise in a lot of these reporters asking prominent Democrats about why they were covering up for Biden's health decline. I've seen that like at least 5 or 6 different times the past 2 weeks where a liberal will be interviewed and they'll get asked about it. Thoughts on Hassan versus Ethan debate? I mean, I saw a little bit of it on X because it was so big, but a lot of that debate did seem like it was personal grievances. They were just yelling at each other, calling each other racists, and which I guess, I mean, they seemingly have a rivalry now. But Ethan was like, he called the IDF a terrorist organization, things like that. So that seems like if you're on Team Israel, a pretty big thing to give up. But it seemed like Ethan knew more historical stuff than Hassan did. I don't know. Can you debunk the liberal talking point about due process with illegal immigrants or some bullshit? Yeah, well, it depends what immigrant you're talking about. But the issue is, this is the main problem is with the amount of illegals that we have. You know, there's no way. That's why Trump implemented the act that was passed in 1798, and then they said, well, the act is way too old. But I mean, it's still there at your disposal. We're not going to be able to process all these people and get them out. I mean, we just don't have the court system for it. I mean, you're talking about millions and millions of cases. It's a big problem. So the issue is letting them in the country in the first place. That's the big problem. When you try and fix the problem, you really can't fix it. It's almost like a bee flying into honey and getting stuck. Like, all these people have come into the country. But now liberals are saying, well, you can't remove them because they need due process. Well, that takes a long time, especially for millions of people. So, I mean, we're just trying to fix the situation, which never should have happened with all these people. Conservative MP in Alberta resigned for peer to run in seat. Carney claims he will cause a special election immediately and not delay it when formal MP resigns. What does that mean, a special election? Another election like you guys just had? Why doesn't mainstream media cover China's manufacturing decline and protests in the streets? Well, I've been hearing some things out of China. You know, the news out of China is very, very tough to get just because a lot of their metrics are manipulated and lied about. But it's obvious. There's no dynamic to where China is not hurt more by the current tariff situation than the United States. But that doesn't necessarily mean we're going to beat them in negotiations. The reason is because China will force their citizens to endure a lot more hardship than the United States will. I mean, you've got citizens, no matter what Trump does, half of the country is going to complain. And I'm over embellishing it, but it's just when we've got this democracy here in the United States, citizens are a lot more empowered to pressure Trump. And China, they understand that that's their best friend, is right now liberals in the United States trying to pressure Trump. The only way Trump loses this trade war is if he caves in too early. If we can get these deals negotiated with other countries, that'll put pressure on China. To be honest, it's not even really a negotiation with China. It's a negotiation with ourselves. We want more independence from China in terms of, I mean, decoupling our reliance on them. And really, we saw it with the pandemic and all the supply chains getting shut down. It became a big issue in terms of shortages. Once they got shut down, we couldn't produce things. And some people say, well, we're never going to be able to produce things. Nobody wants those jobs. But worst case scenario is you get robots to do it. They become automated, but they're produced in the United States. And hopefully tariffs can help us do that at least when it comes to some things. But I don't know. I mean, I think China is certainly hurting more than us. You know, they have already dealt with some really bad economic stuff in terms of deflation because they implemented a zero COVID policy in 2022 and it just crushed them. And they have terrible youth unemployment, and their economy is stagnating right now. Trump, Pope, AI, you think it was funny? Yeah, I saw some Catholics. A lot of liberal Catholics got angry about that, but that's really what Trump does. I mean, I don't think Mark Carney is banning Twitter from Canada, but he did come out against it. Special election like the US where if a congressperson resigns, thought you know. Oh. Typhoon, what's up, man? Who is Shiloh? It's the lady that said the N-word to that kid on the playground and then got donated money as like a response to the Carmelo Anthony donations after stabbing Metcalf. Did you see Vance's speech? No, I didn't. Was it today? I have not seen that. Who wouldn't want a good, I would assume, manufacturing job? Well, it depends what the jobs are, what they'll be paying. And certainly, I mean, that could, you know, you get a rise in manufacturing. Kids don't need college degrees. I think we should shift away from college, especially with young women in this country. I mean, certain things certainly require more schooling, but just the way the college works is, you don't want to call it a scam because it is needed in certain instances in terms of jobs. And, you know, the other thing is college kids will say, well, we make more money on average. Well, then why do you look for handouts in terms of your degrees being paid for? Isn't that an investment? Aren't you're bragging about making more money. So aren't you investing into getting a degree because people with a degree make more money? That's your investment. So you're paying for a degree so you can make money later in life. But then they also want the handout and they want the degree paid for. Well, I understand it's not ideal and it needs to change. I mean, kids should not be going into 70, 80, 90, 100K worth of debt. I mean, some of these women and also dudes, but it's just like you're getting some degree that does not really help you much at all in terms of anything. I mean, I guess it's better to have a degree than to not have one, but nowadays employers are even saying, well, it's so oversaturated. it's having a college degree is very unremarkable. Certainly, if you have a good degree at an Ivy school, it's different. But it's just because so many people have gotten them now. It's just it's oversaturated, and it's just for a lot of these people, it's just not worth it. The race garbage with Carmelo and Shiloh has got to stop. We do not want a race conflict in the summer. Yeah, I mean, dude, the thing is I can't have it from my channel because think about my channel. I need my channel. You know the stuff that's allowed on Twitter versus a lot not allowed on YouTube are two completely different things. So if stuff happens to where I'm forced to comment on this race stuff, you know, am I not supposed to comment on it? I don't know. I mean, it's just I think they're allowing more things on YouTube though. They're allowing you to say more stuff, but just the shit that I say on I see said on X is just so different compared to just being like there's no way I'd be able to say a lot of this shit that people are saying, and I love YouTube, you know, so it's like I don't know. I hope there's nothing with that either, you know, like the George Floyd situation. Dude, it seems like it. Well, imagine there was a situation like that. Like, the embers are already burning. It's like about to be ignited if there's a huge situation that happens. It's like everyone's just waiting for it. That's what it feels like. I mean, it's just constant. You know, with Musk having X now, it's changed completely in terms of that stuff. Did you see Ilhan Omar and also AOC Bernie rallies? So AOC and Bernie had another rally. Ilhan Omar was at it, you're saying? Or she had a different rally? Yeah, all these liberal socialists. I mean, Ilhan Omar openly does not like the United States. She, I mean, she says white men are a threat. White men, they've contributed like 95% of the achievement to this country. So to say that, it's like you just don't like the United States. You don't like our history. So like, people, you know, when you've got someone like that gets power, it's a sign of a failing country. And I guess the idea is, well, it's just one district, doesn't really matter. But I mean, I see a woman like her in power, and it's just insane to me. I mean, she does not like the country. She would want the country fundamentally changed. And that's like a thing to where there's so many boomers and just so many normal people that don't realize how much you should hate this woman. And they don't see it. And it doesn't really matter because it's just she won a district race or whatever, but it's just insane. Did you see Warren Buffett is done? I did see that. I saw it trending. Yeah. How about CBS getting nominated for an Emmy for the interview of Kamala? That's got to be a troll. You know, that's like one of those fake tweets. Wait, was that their 60 Minutes interview that they edited? I think that's got to be one of their fake tweets, man, like the troll. I just can't see that being real. You're in 73K in student debt for degrees that you didn't intend to get when you first started college. 73K in debt. I mean, what does a payment plan for that look like? What do you pay a month? And how much interest are you going to rack up on that? 73K. How many degrees? 2 degrees? You don't think Carmelo Anthony will be the next George Floyd? Well, certainly not. I'm saying there might be a situation that ignites it. That was just kind of the first flame, if you will. But I'm hoping that's not going to happen, man. Have you heard about the bill being voted on tomorrow that would make boycotting Israel a $1 million fine and 20 years in prison? Yeah, it's retardio. Even the people that like if you're a Zionist and you're pro-Israel, that's going to just foster more animosity against Israel, 100%. That's insane. I mean, it just makes people it's just like I swear a lot of these politicians are just dumb robots. Like how do you think this is going to be perceived as good? This is not this is going to go the exact opposite of what you think. You're talking about what abolishing free speech when it comes to talking about Israel. Like, I mean, I didn't read the bill exactly. I'm sure there's certain things there might be some fear mongering in it, but it's insane to even suggest that, and it's just going to make people believe that Israel has significant control in the country even more. I mean, what do you think's going to happen? You thought China owned Canada? Yeah, apparently China has a lot of influence over Canada. They spent big money on Carney winning or trying to help Carney win in that election. Why is Stephen A. Smith going on his 2028 grift? It's the thing that you realize with all these TV personnels, they're obsessed with attention. They're like 13-year-old girls. They get attention for it. They're like, oh, this is great. It's just it's no different than just like a seventh grade middle school. They all just want attention. So I'm gonna run for president. That's gonna get you more attention. Allows you get into a grift. Now you've got this whole storyline. You're trying to get your income driven repayment plan approved. Without it, you'll be paying at least $800 a month. It's insane. I mean, you must have a decent job at least, hopefully. If you've got like 2 degrees, you're getting with that much debt. The idea that Klaus Schwab resigned is garbage. He's just gone in behind it. Well, it doesn't even matter whether he's gone or not. He's still going to have serious influence. All of the race war stuff is so stupid. How about something we can all agree that? Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens with the race war. I don't. I mean, there is a fatigue happening for sure, but a lot of it is also Musk opening up X and allowing people to speak their mind. I mean, that's a big part of it. I feel like it depends what timeline you get to in terms of that type of stuff. You feel like there's a high chance Josh Shapiro won't run for re-election. You haven't seen him mention anything about it. He could be trying to prioritize a run for president. Yeah, I mean, with someone like Shapiro, he might have to take his shot in 28. I don't think he's going to win the Democratic nomination. Seems very unlikely to me. But I mean, they really have no one. So he probably will run. I mean, there's got to be a lot of those Democrats that are very optimistic on their chances because there's no real leader. So they all think they can do it and win. I saw Wes Moore from Maryland is not running. I don't know, just kind of random, but I saw that. People were talking about him, black dude from Maryland. The Dem 2028 primary will be much watched TV. I mean, that is going to be a competitive primary, but people thought 2020 would be, and I guess COVID kind of ruined that primary season, but it was kind of a joke. I mean, those Democratic debates tend to be very boring, but you get AOC up there with some establishment libs. They'll disagree on some stuff for sure, I guess. Did they ban Twitter? I don't think so. I don't even know what this is. But Carney said that, Carney said in this clip that he's really concerned about it. It's all the same bullshit. It's all that, like, he says, oh, it's very concerning. I don't know. You only got 242 streamers or viewers. Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's tough. I need topics to put in the title. I think honestly, why are streamers on the right so much more popular than streamers on the left? It's all relative. I mean, there's very popular leftist streamers. You just probably don't watch them. Sourceless, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Loaded question, but what do you see the state of the U.S. being in 2028, specifically the economy and also land expansion? Yeah, I don't really see there's not going to be a ton of land expansion by 2028. I don't think it's very. It takes a long time to do that. Maybe Greenland, maybe if Trump decides to move on it, which I think he might. Seems like he's really upping it and saying leaving the option open for possibly a military takeover. So I would say maybe Greenland. I don't think any of the Canada stuff happens with Alberta for the foreseeable future, just because seems to be very, very complicated in terms of Alberta leaving. And then what was the other question? What do you think about the economy? Well, the economy by 2028, it's hard to predict. So I mean, it depends on global situations and what's happening with wars and things like that. And but I mean, ideally, the bedrock of the economy is being laid with lower inflation. But if 2028, who knows how inflation will be and everything like that. But I mean, 2026, it seems like 2026, 2027, it should be relatively good. Check his recent truth tech wizard. Who, Trump? I've got Trump's truth thing on here. Maybe not. What is it? What are you talking about, Alcatraz? Yeah, I mean, I talked about this a little bit. Yeah, I mean, Alcatraz, it's a very interesting setup. People are saying tariffs are going to make another negative GDP for Q2. Have heard the opposite. Even the Atlanta Fed predicted plus 2.5 GDP growth in quarter 2. Now, look, I'm not saying the Atlanta Fed is completely accurate, but I mean, you'd like for it to be positive. But from what I've seen, the thing is, it's Trump did Liberation Day right at the start of Q2. It was April 2nd, so it was like the second day of Q2. That's why. But I mean, look, honestly, if you look at Liberation Day compared to where we are now, we've gained back all of our losses, and we've had 9 straight days of positive S&P action, I believe, is what it is, which is a record since 2004. But certainly more needs to happen. I mean, from when Trump took over, it's still down. Thoughts on Trump's comments about Greenland saying he's not ruling out invasion? Yeah, I mean, I talked about that in the video today. It doesn't surprise me. I just wonder if there's going to be an offer to the people of Greenland. I feel like that would be the next step rather than a military takeover. I don't know. I mean, it seems like those people are so entrenched against Trump to where, they're bullheaded, and even Denmark is. It's like, why not just go to Denmark and say, listen, you want something for Greenland or nothing? Do you want to get $20 billion for Greenland, or do you want us to just take it over and you lose it for nothing? You technically shouldn't even have it if you believe in this whole idea of these smaller countries. I mean, they want to leave Denmark. It's not that simple because Denmark gives them money, but still. Alcatraz is a mess. Take a lot of money to get habitable. Yeah, I mean, I wonder what the shape of it is. When I visited, it was really rusted and stuff, obviously, but I wouldn't be able to predict the amount of money it would take to rehabilitate it completely. You went to Alcatraz. The water in the bay is pretty cold, so probably safe to keep prisoners. Oh, it's very, very safe. Remember Escape from Alcatraz, that movie? That was a good movie, and they also did the zombies map at Alcatraz, the Black Ops 2 zombies map. Australia also voted very far left on Saturday after they got extreme TBS as well. Conservatives there also leading until the tariffs happened. Complete mental. Yeah, I saw that. I saw the poly market change. Basically the exact same thing. Exact same thing as Canada. It's like they're controlled by TDS. It is remarkable. Did you like Trump's interview today? I thought it gave some insight on some certain things. I haven't watched the full thing. Maybe I'll watch a lot of the clips here tonight on stream if you guys want me to. But he was talking about 2028. He said basically, no, it's not going to happen. It's not advisable for Trump to even say, oh, it should happen or whatever. They'll just make it a huge deal. But I don't think Trump's going to. Advice for Canadians? It's hard. I mean, your country's very liberal. Your country's very liberal. I would never recommend seceding and joining another country because there's nationalism with me. I'm loyal to my country. But for you guys, it's. I mean, it's demoralizing. But also, there is a conservative vigor within the young people there in Canada. You can tell, and so it's like Carney is going to be very bad. So maybe there'll be a quick election. I know. In Canada, you can kind of have elections on a whim. So maybe there'll be a quick election in a year or two if Carney's extremely bad. And I think Carney will be bitched around by Trump, and they're probably not going to like that. Thoughts on GTA 6 getting delayed? Yeah, dude, that's insane. This is the crazy thing. So I had 2 GTA 6 coins, If the news was trailer 2 and not it being delayed, I probably would have made a very good amount of money, but it gets delayed, so my coins got just destroyed. To me, they had already delayed it, honestly, but this was like their formal delay because Rockstar always delays games. So, but to me, I thought it was like hasn't it been like 10, 11, 12 years? 12 years, really. 2013 to 2025. 2013 was GTA 5. Wrong, please go on Truth Social. I don't even have Truth Social, man. I mean, is it really that huge of a thing? Is it about the movie industry? Talking about Trump's tariffs? No, I agree with Trump on this. The movies have been terrible. They really have been. Thoughts on Big Balls? I saw that. Yeah, they went to Big Balls. He's like, I made it my LinkedIn name. They were talking to all the Doge people. We'll see what happens with Doge's legacy. It's tough, man. I mean, you promise $1 trillion and you might be getting to 130 billion. They say maybe less, depending. But we'll see what they end up doing. I don't know. I wonder if Jesse Walters asked them about maybe an audit of military spending. I don't know if he did. I mean, if you're a reporter worth a damn and you talk to Doge, shouldn't the first question be, why haven't you looked into the Pentagon? Maybe he did ask them. I don't know. Alcatraz reopening before GTA 6. There's no way it's reopening before. I mean, the news came out, but it's like Trump says this stuff. It probably takes a lot of money to renovate Alcatraz, so I don't know. But yeah, GTA 6, man, it's insane. It really is demoralizing. What do you think about the Garcia situation? That's pretty much over. The Garcia thing. I don't know. I mean, you know how it works with the news cycle, but I don't. He's in El Salvador. They can't bring him back. They can't force remove him from El Salvador. El Salvador's denying him. He's not allowed to come back, according to El Salvador. Join the Alberta Republican Party on Saturday, largest going Alberta Independence Party out there. 11,000 members after the election. Yeah, I mean, there is more conservatism growing seemingly in Canada. More moderate conservatism, but at a certain point with all these immigrants and stuff, you're on a similar trajectory as a lot of Europe is. There's right-wing parties rising in Europe just because the immigration is so out of control, and people, they notice trends, they understand these people coming in. It does not help your life quality at all. So who's doing it? Well, they're finally starting to blame the right people, and that you form right-wing parties because of it after being left for so long. And we'll see what happens with Canada. I mean, people obviously very upset because Polyev was such a massive favorite for so long. War with Iran before GTA 6. Oh, man. Did you see what happened with that, with the Michael Waltz talking to Netanyahu? Oof. And then getting reassigned, but he got reassigned to like an ambassador role to the UN or something. But yeah, that was not good. Talking to Netanyahu secretly. Yeah. And then Trump, I mean, Trump fired him, but he's obviously not a good pick for the cabinet. Do you like the Pelosi Act? What does it have to do with trading, insider trading? I mean, yeah, certainly we should remove insider trading from if you're an elected official. There's no doubt about it. Usually the Kentucky Derby journalism lost. Yeah, I saw that. Love when you said Mexican. Scheinbaum has a nice Mexican. Yeah, right. It's crazy. Boy, they definitely installed Scheinbaum to Mexico. That's great Mexican heritage. Scheinbaum. Just curious, but if you had to estimate how many people do you think Trump deports by the end of his term? Well, it's a little bit complicated because, they'll talk about self-deportations and things like that. There were a lot of people that left the country because of the way Trump was rounding people up, or at least being very aggressive right at the start of his term in terms of talking about deporting people. So there were a lot of people that self-deported. I don't know the numbers exactly. I mean, he's on track for around a million total right now. I think he'll up it to maybe 1.5 or 2, but people will view that as a failure. I mean, it just, they need to build up more of an infrastructure to be able to do it if you really want like a million per year. The other problem is just the way they count deportation numbers under Obama and Biden, and well, not Biden, but under Obama, I guess, and even Biden, they count turnaways as deportations, which is something that you're not supposed to do, and it really warps with the numbers. So, you'll get a lot of people comparing Trump's deportation numbers to Obama's, but it's really apples to oranges because the way they count deportations is different. You heard all of those immigrants are going to change the electoral map even if they are illegal. Well, yeah, they do count. It's just total population. That's insane to me that's a thing. I was like, wow, I can't believe that, but that is true. It does count. But I mean, I'm not sure there's enough of them to really make a crazy difference in terms of electoral votes, which is, district seats or whatever. GTA 6 comes out before you make money on a meme coin. Well, I mean, I have made money in the past, but I've lost a lot. I'm just in like 3 or 4 coins. I'm in NASDAQ 420. I'm in 4chan. I mean, I have some coins that I'm very confident in, and I own a decent supply. So I'm just going to hold them. That's really the strategy. Just hold them for like, hopefully until the actual bull run. I mean, the hope is still based off of the 4-year cycle. The bull run happens within the next 5 or 6 months. People say it's invalidated. I don't think it really is invalidated. I still think it could happen. But the problem is how bad Ethereum is doing. That's the big problem. Does Congress needs to change that for the census? They should change it. You shouldn't count illegals when it comes to total electoral votes based on because they do it based on population. Will you be watching college football this year? I mean, I'm definitely going to watch some college football for sure. Did you see Trump endorse Stephen A. Smith? I think that was a bit of a joke. It seemed like a bit of a joke. Do you think Nevada, Arizona can go from toss up to lean R if trend continues? Yeah, Nevada, I don't think so. I think Nevada is too much of a swing. Arizona, I would say we'll see what happens, but it was a pretty big margin. It's a pretty big margin in 2024, so I think Arizona will start lean R in 28, but should you have kept holding Dark Maga? RIP, man. RIP to Dark Maga, that's for sure, man. That's a tough one, Dark Maga. The bull cycle was over January 1st, 2025. Now, I mean, to me, I think if you base it off the 4-year cycle, the timing actually is to where the highs should be in the fall. But I mean, honestly, even using the 4-year cycle kind of seems ridiculous now. It's just like it's crypto so mainstream. It could go up, it could go down. But we still really haven't had a blow off top, especially for altcoins. So I would be surprised. That would be a very disappointing bull run if it was already over. I'll say that. Which honestly, there were good conditions for certain coins. So I'm not saying it's like, well, nothing did. There were a lot of people that made money, but Stephen A. Smith crying racism when Shador was not drafted. Yeah, I think the NFL is it's the NFL is a joke. Just look at the NFL and just the quarterback quality now. It's just terrible. And then they cry racist. It's like, oh, come on. The number one overall pick, black quarterback. Dark Maga is up 160% in 24 hours. Yeah, I mean, but what is it even at this point? Like 1.5 mil? I mean, it can't be at really anything at this, because I saw it had gotten destroyed anyways. But yeah, maybe someone tweeted about it if it's up to 160. But sometimes those coins just go crazy. You never really know. This shouldn't be the American dream. That looks decent. That looks like a nice townhomes, cluster homes. You want to live in the city, you deal with the crime rates. All these far right parties in Europe are tiny hat controlled opposition. I feel like everyone says everything is controlled opposition, so it's, I mean, I don't know, man. You told me to buy Zebek 2 Thursdays ago. Dude, come on. It's up 80%. I mean, you're bragging about 80%. It's not even a 2x. Come on. Which did you get into first, sports or politics? Oh, sports, I would say. But doesn't everyone get into, like, I feel like politics, I didn't get into politics. Well, I mean, I started learning about politics like 14 or 15, but sports before then. Sports is easier. It's more palatable for younger people, by far. Did you see Megyn Kelly trolling the Blue Origin? Yeah, I mean, I really don't care about that. I don't know why people got so obsessed with that. I don't want to bitch about it, but it's like, who cares about a freaking mission where they spent like 8 minutes? It's like, what does it matter? Like, is it really that big of a deal? Does it matter? But then they start saying it's oh, it didn't happen. It's fake. It's a psyop. I mean, that also tends to be a big thing now with people. They say everything's a psyop. Basically, a city, those lawns are tiny. Yeah, no, that's not a city though. I mean, that's not city living. City is like you're living in a apartment with a bunch of other people, and you can walk everywhere, but you're dealing with higher crime. You're dealing with some other stuff. Any plans to buy a house? Market in your area sucks. Yeah, the market in my area is really bad because the city that I live in it's a decent like suburban city, and it has a decent amount of stuff around. But I wouldn't buy a house until I became wealthy. I feel like I just save up most money. I have some side investments, things like that. But to be honest, I'm not going to sit there and put a down payment on a house at this stage where my finances are. It just doesn't make any sense. Plus, it doesn't make any sense at my age. I feel like to do that. I mean, I guess you could buy a house and then end up selling it, and it's not a bad loss. But yeah, I don't think that's a good idea. People say, well, you shouldn't rent and stuff like that. When you're young, I don't think it's a bad. I think it's the move rather than buying shit. I mean, you're buying. To me, it's just. Eventually, you definitely want to build a nice house or buy one, but thoughts on Trump's military parade? I think it'll be good. I think it'll boost morale, and I think he wants to have one for his birthday, his 79th birthday, and then he wants to have one for something. Oh, anniversary, the anniversary of the United States. What is it, 250th? So there's going to be a huge military parade for July 4th, I believe. There really always should be a massive military parade in DC on July 4th. That's what I think, with huge flags and just marches, things like that. I'm surprised they don't really do any of that. But Trump is trying to be, more nationalist, right? How many years do you start buying stocks? I don't know, man. I would have to. I mean, depending on how fast I get out of crypto, it could be relatively soon. You're already a whale, aren't you a trillionaire? I would never want to be a trillionaire, no. But I know it's a joke question. Thoughts on Rodgers getting married at the Kentucky Derby? Who? Aaron Rodgers? That's really the only. Is it who? What other Rogers are there? I don't know. His birthday and the Army's 250th birthday the same day. Oh, so that's when they're combining it. With the Chinese girl, Indian girl, and white girl videos dropping racist language now, you think it's a trending thing now? Well, they're certainly trying to. They're certainly saying it is and stuff, and more so like with fatigue and stuff, just the way people act in public. People are sick of it. But I mean, I don't know. To me, this is also Musk being on X. It opens things up, and so you're starting to see people really speak their mind and stuff. But I mean, and now you're starting to see all these older videos that they're saying are like from 2 days ago and stuff. You got to be careful about that with X because they'll take really old clips and then they'll post them and people think it was from like yesterday and stuff. And liberals calling him a dictator for wanting a military parade on his birthday since that's what they do in communist countries. Well, they should endorse it. I thought they loved communism. A lot of them are open, very heavily socialist. The younger people are communist. That's based by Trump to do what communist countries are doing for sure. But I mean, it's like, yeah, what does it matter? It's a nationalist parade. Invest in BTC, buy some every week or 2 weeks. I think BTC is kind of, if you want to make money off BTC, I feel like you're better off. And look, I like crypto, but I think you're probably better off getting yourself a portfolio in the stock market than BTC. Maybe BTC will go to 1 million and I'll be wrong and it'll do like a 10x from here. But I mean, technically, if you look at its market cap compared to gold, BTC still has some significant room for growth. So, I mean, if you believe in it, maybe BTC would be a safer investment for me, honestly. But you're not, you need a decent amount of capital to really make money off BTC. Like you throw 100K in, really you need like 100K minimum. I feel like if you, but even that, what are you hoping for? Like a 2x this cycle, 2.5x? People think it'll go crazy, but like if it goes to 1 million, I feel like that would just invalidate all the charts and stuff. It seems impossible. I guess it's possible if it like people like say it's better than gold or something. Asmongold said Hassan should be banned off Twitch. I can't keep up with that type of, that's like middle school stuff. If Musk never bought X, would you see this much of an awakening on Israel? I highly doubt it, man. Highly, highly, highly doubt it. And that's why a lot of those people bitch at Musk, but he still keeps things open relative. I mean, see how he took some check marks away, but in general, a lot of it's open. You should start watching hockey, only sport with hope. Yeah, I mean the hockey playoffs. I know people always say are very good. The playoff games. You love military parades as a conservative. Yeah, I think military parades are good for nationalism and patriotism. Did you have BLM protests and riots in your time? Not really. I don't. Nah, not that I could see. Just invest in the S&P 500 index fund and another one for your environment, for your retirement. Sorry. Um, yeah, I mean that's definitely a safe portfolio. BTC is bullish for the next decade. You got to give up on the 50x goals. Yeah, I mean BTC. There's no way BTC is getting a 50x from here. Its market cap is way too high. I mean, but I have had coins that I've sold out of that did like 500 or 600 X's. People have to understand that does happen. I mean, it's there for you. You just got to be able to find the right ones. Darth Sidious, Princess Leia. What about Jabba the Hutt? What about Boba Fett? When I was younger, there were some really cool Lego sets, like Ewok Village. I remember those sets. Prediction on the Fed meeting you're talking about? What is that, the 7th? Is it the 9th or the 7th? I think it's the 9th. They're not going to cut. They'll keep the rates the same. Are you sick of hearing that Trump is Israel first or works for Israel? Yeah, it's tiring. I mean, to me, if Trump is able to heat off this potential conflict with Iran, I mean, to be fair to Trump, you had Waltz who was talking with Netanyahu. Trump gets rid of him. You have Trump saying he wants peace with Iran. But we just don't have a good relationship with Iran because of the ripped up nuclear contract during Trump's first administration. So it seems like Israel's trying to sabotage these talks. But if Trump can come to an agreement, I think these people are going to have to shut up, because this is a big, big thing if Trump is able to come to an agreement on some type of peace with Iran, because Israel does not want that. So that would be a direct... I mean, even some of the people within the administration, like Hegseth, they don't even want it with Iran, and they were seen as like very pro-Israel. Tulsi came out against it. Vance has come out against even bombing the Houthis. Are you autistic? No. You know, people, it's like this trendy thing, like, oh, they ask people, why would I be autistic? How am I autistic? It's just like, they say, well, you're high functioning. It's not, I think they oversell how many people are autistic. I don't know. What year did you first, I think that's asking, when did I first buy crypto? 2017, Litecoin. Would Trump's approval be better if the news wasn't always damn negative towards him? Well, it's just, you know, it's the tariff situation, because people perceive him single-handedly hurting the economy while not understanding the big picture of it. So, but they also did a very good job manipulating that, because he did the whole thing and it wasn't necessarily rolled out 100% perfectly, and the market tanked for 2 days. But the thing is from Liberation Day to where we are now, the market is higher, but his approval rating on the economy has gone down significantly, which you would think it'd be the opposite, because we've been able to really get inflation under control and some other things, and the energy sector is lower. But it's just they were able to really propagandize that 2 day period when the market tanked, and people, now his approval rating on the economy is like -20 or -30. Schools and pharma both make more with autism diagnosis. I remember the COVID stuff as well with the hospitals, when they would have dead patients, and they started labeling everyone that died that they had COVID, they'd get kickbacks or whatever. That was another thing that happened. Did you buy Litecoin after the creator dumped his stash? Well, I bought Litecoin in like the summer of 2017, so it went up significantly. Litecoin did, and I held on to it. But you know, maybe like $3,000 worth. It went to 12K, and then it went back down. So, but I mean, there's no way you're like that young and you're gonna make any money. You're just gonna get crushed. So there's no point.
So Mexico is saying that I offered to send U.S. troops into Mexico to take care of the cartel. She wants to know, is that true? Do you think I'm going to answer that question?
That's why I'm asking. We'll see.
I will answer it. It's true. Absolutely. Because they are horrible people that have been killing people left and right, they've made a fortune on selling drugs and destroying our people. We lost 300,000 people last year to fentanyl and drugs. They're bad news. Yeah, that's true. If Mexico wanted help with the cartels, we would be honored to go in and do it. I told her that. I would be honored to go in and do it. The cartels are trying to destroy our country. They're evil. And, you know, we had 300,000 people die last year from fentanyl and all of that. We had millions of people brought into this country that shouldn't be here. The cartels brought them in. So if she said that I offered to do that, she's 100%
Are
right.
you disappointed that she denied that request, but she doesn't want
Well, she's so afraid of the cartel she can't walk, so, you know, that's the reason. And I think she's a lovely woman. But the president of Mexico is a lovely woman. But she is so afraid of the cartels that she can't even think straight.
No, he's right absolutely about that.
Well, you know, I want a fair deal with China, but China's been ripping us off for many years, so maybe something should be thought about, you know, a little bit of retribution. China's been ripping us off for many years, ever since they started. To me, I think it was the worst thing that Richard Nixon ever did. And it was Nixon, you know, he's the one that got it started. And they've taken advantage of it.
Yeah, well, I mean, with Scheinbaum, she's controlled or scared of the cartels, either one. So it doesn't seem like Trump is really deterred by that. He's probably still going to do some type of operation in Mexico from that answer that he gave. Yeah, I don't think Trump is really sick. It was just the audio with the plane. Have you ever seen Trump not wear a suit? Yeah, I mean, when he golfs, he doesn't wear a suit. So, Trump flies a lot. Well, yeah, he's the president. Every president's gonna fly a ton. Trump says China ripping us off. How much is Israel ripping us off? Well, I mean, Israel is a different ball game. You know, we under Obama we give Israel $4 billion, and then on top of that, it's been around 17 billion, I think, just for the Palestine war. But I mean, we gave Ukraine around 180 billion. Like the amount of money we gave Ukraine was insane. And we're still giving them money, and it is understandable because we're trying to end it. So you have to kind of pressure Russia to come to the negotiating table. But I mean, the only reason we're still giving Ukraine money is because of the minerals deal. So we're supposedly getting all of it back. How much did U.S. spend on Israel since Nixon? Well, since 48, when they became a country, Israel, I think it's like I don't know exactly. I think it's only 175 or 150. I think it's 150. You know, a lot of those Middle Eastern countries have gotten a lot of aid from us. Afghanistan, Jordan, Egypt. So do you think Shapiro would have put up more electoral votes than Kamala? Josh Shapiro? I probably he would have lost in a similar fashion. Maybe win Pennsylvania, but even that, like, you're gonna swing at 2.5 points. I don't know. I mean, you can't say because I don't know how to perform at the debates and just in a campaign environment. But I don't think Shapiro would have done anything against Trump. Trump was always gonna win, even though Harris was a bad candidate. COD Ghost's opinion. I'm not a fan of COD Ghost, man. I hate the faster time to kill games. Just terrible. They had horrible zombies too. But honestly, that's more of a multiplayer thing with COD Ghosts. I just like if you want to play hardcore, play hardcore. Why is it 2 bullets to kill someone with a weak gun? Like a weak SMG, it's 2 bullets from medium range. I mean, that's Egypt. I think Egypt is second. But I mean, now Ukraine is first. The amount of money we've given Ukraine has just lapped everyone. People will be surprised by that. I mean, Israel's military budget's like 45 billion, and we've given them more recently because of the Palestine stuff, but we give them around 4 billion. I'm turning into a foreign chick magnet. What the girl from the Netherlands. I appreciate that comment. That was nice. The recent 9/11 video about the hijackers was interesting. Yeah, and that got monetized. How great is that? You know, originally it wasn't monetized. I uploaded it when it was like in review because I was like, I just want to upload another video tonight. But it got monetized at around like 5 a.m. this morning. They did. So you know what? I think that, you know, when you do videos like that, when it's just, there's really no way it shouldn't be monetized. There's nothing wrong with that video. There's no gore or anything like that. So, you know, I got another video I want to do on Jim O'Neill. It's just a crazy story with 9/11. A lot of people don't know about it. A lot of politicians, judges, journalists in Mexico, far more than you'd think, take orders from the cartel. Well, no, I mean, dude, there's a number. I don't know if it's like 150 of the amount of politicians that the cartel has killed. I think it's like 150. It's they control so much of it. So it's the cartel is. I mean, this is what I tweeted. But guys, take a look at this. Let me show you something. This is a nice I just got this. I just did. This is nice. I like this. I just created this myself. But this is my header now on YouTube, and I added my header there. But let me just show something. Their government is the cartels. That's what people have to understand about Mexico. So Trump's going to have to do it anyways. Trump would have to do it anyways without the government backing it because they can't back it because they are the cartels. Why would the cartels back them being struck or invaded? Loved your video on feminism. Yeah, I mean, you think about it, it really just doesn't. The feminism, especially modern feminism, makes no sense when you compare men and women. And I mean, women now are more educated than men, and there's still this movement. Like, poor dude that wanted Trump 2028 got shut down with Trump's interview. Yeah, he's gone. I don't think we're going to be seeing him. I don't think we're going to be seeing him. Yeah, he got shut down with that. That was like a shot to the heart, man. That's like Valentine's Day heartbreak, bro. That's bad. Look forward to the O'Neill video. Yeah, that'll be one that I'll start working on at some point. You don't like the mineral deal we have with Zelensky? Well, it's all the money that we're giving them now for the war supposedly is paid back through minerals. But I agree. The mineral deal was honestly a very, very nice play by Trump in terms of being charitable. Like, seriously. Show the interview. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's all in here. You just got to go back further. There's probably like 30 clips, honestly. The cartels have physical control over most of it. Yeah, so you would have to liberate their government. That's the thing. He didn't say anything about 2032. Yeah, imagine they start selling hats Trump 2032. Just give him another 4 years off and then have him run again. Have a gut feeling Vladimir Putin's death is coming soon in 2025. I mean, hopefully not. That would destabilize everything. And you don't know the leadership that's going to be taken up within Russia. They have 180 billion in minerals in Ukraine. No, it's not the 180. We're not getting that money back. It's for the future investment now. Genghis Khan, what's up? Thoughts on the stock market? Performing surprisingly well. A lot of people are surprised at how well the stock market's performed because there's really no. I mean, a lot of this is like they know that Trump's going to make these deals, and so it's gone back up. But it is a little bit surprising, just in terms of how well it's doing considering there is still no deals with any country that we know of. And you still do have massive tariffs on China, and it's unknown when there's going to be a deal done. I think it's probably going to happen in the summer if I had to guess. I don't know. I think there's probably the tariff stuff. Oh, they don't even have that. Tariff. No change, 98%. Fuck me. Carney, the meeting on Tuesday, that'll be good. We got a good meeting on Tuesday with Carney and Trump. Happy about that. That'll be good for some video content. What will happen before GTA 6? This is a meme. I would hope Russia-Ukraine ceasefire. This thing doesn't come out until a year from now. 69% chance. China invades Taiwan. I highly doubt it. I doubt it. Trump out as president, 17% chance. Bitcoin hits $1 million. Jesus Christ returns, 12% chance. Did you hear about the dire wolf thing? Yeah, it's not real. That was a hybrid wolf. They didn't actually recreate a new. They didn't actually bring the species back. It was a hybrid. We don't need the money back from Ukraine. We need access to minerals. Now that we have that, we get to decide who buys the resources developed through the joint venture deal. Well, I think the joint venture deal is a 50-50 split. We get half of what's extracted. Ukraine gets half. Would you rather visit India, Pakistan, or Nepal? Probably Nepal. I know Nepal is extremely poor. Oof. Man, my toenail just came off. Not all of it, just the part of it. Just like the part you're supposed to cut, but I think I might have. Oof. Thoughts on Black Ops 6? It's just crap. I mean, it's just garbage. You know. I mean, there's nothing terrible about Black Ops 6. I don't even have the game, so me commenting on it is kind of dumb, but Yankees have the best bat in the world and the best starting pitcher. The rest of the team is meh. Yeah, but Garrett Cole is always injured now. Goldschmidt is really good. I mean, we'll see if he keeps it up. Yeah, I mean, I think they should probably just give Aaron Judge steroids. MLB really needs someone to hit like 70 home runs. Might as well. I mean, just let him hit 70 home runs. It'd be good for the sport. Would you consider doing a video about the timeline of China dominating trade production? I don't know. I don't really think it's worth it. Can you show some videos from the interview? Yeah, I mean, I can react to some of these. Let me see if I can find a good one. Because I'm sure there's like 20 different clips here. Talking about Canada. I'll just be a two-term president. Wow. Yeah, no, it didn't. My toenail didn't fully come off or anything like that. But I might have clipped it a little bit too close. It's like really foggy outside right now. It's interesting.
I want to be a great president. I will have served. Hopefully, everything will go well. I feel very good. I just did a physical. I took, unlike all other presidents, I took cognitive tests and I aced it. I got 100% correct. And one doctor said, there were numerous doctors watching. And he said, I've never seen that before. Biden didn't take a cognitive. He couldn't have gotten the first question right. But I came out great with the physical, both physically and mentally. And I just want to serve, do a great job. I'll be an 8-year president. I'll be a 2-term president. I always thought that was very important, to be honest with you. You know, If you look at President Polk, he was a one-termer and he did some great things, actually. A pretty good president. And I'm not saying you can't do that, but there's something about being a two-term president that was very important to me.
There's something about being a two-term president that was very important. I mean, certainly seems like he's not coming close to considering running again. What does Bannon do with this information? How does he cope about it? When are you going to El Salvador to talk crypto with Bukele? Well, what about Javier Milei and his coin? Is his coin still around? Remember that project? It's insane. The interviewer was so annoying. Yeah, I mean, you'll get it with more of a, what is it, NBC? You'll get a little bit more left wing. They'll try and confront Trump on certain things. That's the reality. Trump knows it when he takes these interviews. They're not going to be a softball interview with NBC. Welker looks like a psycho. She definitely has some like weird tendencies when she reacts to certain things. It's just like her expressions. They're very aggressive expressions. You think they pulled that Israel bill from going to vote? Well, I mean, the Israel bill would be bad for Israel. Like, that bill would be bad for Israel because it just shows you how different they'd be treated than in every other country. So it moves along the theory. Yeah, Trump should have a good meeting with Carney. That'll be good to watch. Trump 2028 guy, and yeah, we haven't seen him in the chat. I think he's retiring the Trump 2028. People talking like Obama was a great campaigner, but Romney and McCain were terrible. Yeah, especially McCain. Romney was ahead of most in 2012 too. Yeah, Romney had a decent chance. I mean, I was pretty young. I wasn't following at that point. As a fellow Ohioan, give me your thoughts on the climate in Ohio. I think the climate, it depends where you live, but in general, I like the climate in Ohio. I like the 4 seasons. And we get a good spring too. Like, this is a legit spring. It's just constant rain. And then you'll get to the 70s, and right now it's like the low 60s is the highs, like 65 will be the high. So I think it's a good climate, honestly. To me now even how the climate is changing here to a degree. Global warming. No, but it is. I have noticed, as I grow up, it seems to get a little bit hotter later in the year, like late into September, early October. But specifically, September seems to be a hotter month now. But I can't really gauge that because when I was younger, I feel like you don't really have the awareness to know. But it definitely seems like it's, when you get into September in Ohio, you normally think, all right, it's going to be in the 50s. It's really not how it works. It's still hot. It's still be in the 80s. We'll have 80-degree days. And Bannon might run for Trump. Bannon's not winning shit. Absolutely not. He can run and try and, like, promote his show through running. That could happen. But Trump would not endorse him. You heard Danielle Smith changed her mind about leaving Canada? The Alberta premier you're talking about? I haven't heard really anything on that. I know they're gathering signatures for a referendum. That's the last that I heard on that. Juan, what's up, man? Protest. I saw there were also big rallies for Alberta separation. There were big rallies over the weekend. So yeah, I'll continue to do videos on it, But I mean, at a certain point, it's like, the viewership peaks, and then you can only run the train for so long before it runs out of steam. Will Alberta make their next big move? I think Alberta, it's going to be It's going to be a while before they do anything. I mean, they'll have a referendum. We'll see. But I don't even think their referendum is going to be able to pass. To me, maybe it'll be like 45%, which wouldn't be enough. Tucker Carlson 2028, I highly doubt it. I mean, Tucker would be like, I guess, the based version of a mainstream guy. That's what I would label Tucker as. Since the Trump 2028 movement guy left Tulsi 2028, he might have to shift to Tulsi. He didn't like Vance at all. So are you thinking of doing more topical videos that you cover a wide range, like personal 9/11 conspiracy, news, sports? Yeah, I mean, I'd rather do different videos, honestly, rather than just the same thing with the news and stuff. But I mean, the 9/11 stuff is fine if it can be monetized. I'm fine with it, because the thing is, I used to have all these avenues. It's good and it's bad, because it's like, well, if you have just 200,000 subscribers that are all subscribed to you for politics, you're probably going to be able to get more views. With me, it's kind of a jumbled mess. But with my algorithm, I'm able to upload other videos, like 9/11 videos, even a stadium video here and there, and I think it would still do decent. If I started uploading more like stadium update videos, I'd probably get back in the algorithm with that and start getting decent views. I mean, it's an avenue to take, because when you're talking about this political stuff, I mean, we really have had a lull in the news, in like major news, because the tariff thing was major news. But after that, I feel like there's really been, I mean, the Alberta stuff, but that was just off the back of the Canadian election. But it's like, I feel like there's going to be some big news coming, whether it's like deals and stuff. When the deals happen, I feel like those will be good videos. But Carney announces King Charles coming to Canada to deliver a speech to Parliament. Yeah, to me, it's ridiculous. Foreign state, it makes no sense. I mean, I don't know how that's not decoupled at this point. To me, it's irrelevant, and especially in the 21st century. You have 20K in student loans graduating in civil engineering. Will be paid off in about a year. Currently at 0% interest because of forbearance. Think it was a good investment. 20K paid off in a year. Well, that's nice. You must not have a high cost of living to be paid off 20K at a young age in a year. And your salary must be decent. Legends Tower update. Yeah, I remember that in OKC, right? I have to look up news on that to see if that is actually going through. Haven't joined the stream in a while. How's it going? It's going. It's going all right. You know what? This thing keeps happening on this computer. I keep losing. I started uploading on Rumble again, guys, just because I gotta keep uploading, but just to have another avenue, just in case something happens. My chat disconnected. There might have been a lag there. Yeah, yeah, you're just gonna have to refresh it. It says I had 0 frames dropped. I don't know, but it should be good now. No, it should be good, guys. Thing is, I'm lagged. What's on my For You page? It's always the same crap, dude. Yeah, it should be back. Wish high school seniors were required to do an apprenticeship instead of curriculum. Would be better. Yeah, I know. There's been talk about possibly introducing some form of more, uh, things that are going to be utilized in terms of everyday skills into schooling, especially high school. "100% tariff on all movies produced overseas." Carney 2.0 Trudeau. Yeah, I mean, it's the same stuff with them. Independent Alberta would be one of the most prosperous nations in the world. Calgary, top 10 best cities to live, quality. Yeah, I mean, I've heard some things to where I think it depends on what they do in terms of if they go independent or have some type of alliance agreement with the United States. I think they probably have an agreement with the United States at least. You were frozen for a split second, but not lagging. Yeah, because I saw the chat disconnected for like 2 seconds. That's how you know. Hopefully Alberta doesn't try and join the union. Do not let Canada. No states can have universal health care like Massachusetts. Yeah, I mean, that would be interesting to see how their healthcare system would work out in the United States and what would have to be done for that. There's really no way of knowing how that would be solved exactly. I guess they can keep their healthcare. I mean, they would have to have a different tax structure though. Which I guess, they just be an individualized state, so you have rights to be able to do that. You think mandatory military service should be required? It would be based. Yeah, I know a lot of European countries do that. Mandatory military service. You think it would help with that? I wonder if it'd make people more right wing to do that. Probably. Fox got to stop buttering up Elon and Doge when they interview them. We want answers, not 30 minutes of glazing them. We want to know why Doge has fallen woefully short. Well, I mean, I guess they didn't find the fraud that they wanted to, or they just didn't do anything on it. I mean, the problem is they didn't look at the entitlements or the Pentagon. Those are the two biggest areas that have to be looked at. They should have asked them, why didn't you look at those areas? I mean, it seems like you promised $1 trillion and you didn't get that. So what's the issue? It seems like very easy questions, but is Trump legally capable of occupying Greenland with the military? If so, he should go ahead and carry it out. Strikes on Mexico. They wouldn't retaliate. Oh, no, I agree. But there are problems with doing that against Mexico. It creates a power vacuum. It destabilizes them. But, I mean, Mexico has to be dealt with in a way. I mean, they're just so owned by the cartels. So whatever Trump decides, it's going to be a complicated thing when it comes to strikes. But at some point, someone's going to have to do something to that because that country has fallen under the cartels. And their entire government has. The amount of people that have been killed within politicians within Mexico is insane because of the cartels. And now the Scheinbaum is saying we don't want any help decoupling ourselves from the cartels. Well, it's a problem. But when it comes to Trump, yeah, Trump needs to just, I don't know. I think diplomatically maybe still be the option within Greenland. Try and do it diplomatically. Offer them money. I don't think they've given them an offer yet. If they have and they've denied it, then I think that's when Trump talks about possibly having a military exercise or securing the island of Greenland. That's what I would say. A new Mob of the Dead map. Dude, that was a good map, Mob of the Dead. Black Ops 2. Yeah, they remaster it 5 times, of course, because they can't create any new good maps, but Did you see Dave Portnoy freak out about a sign? Yeah, and he said he wanted to ruin the kids' lives or whatever. He went crazy, and then he said he was sending the kids on a trip to Germany to visit Alcatraz or to visit Auschwitz, and he said they were going to Germany, not Poland. He doesn't even know where Auschwitz is, man. The guy is just, and he just got completely triggered by that. I don't. You'll keep looking at Doge glass half empty instead of glass half full. Well, I mean, they promised a trillion and they got 120 billion. That seems like a pretty crazy short. That seems like they were about 88% off, 85% off. I mean, that seems like a lot to be off, honestly. But listen, I'm glad they got rid of USAID. That's good. Are you scared? Are you scared of Bernie AOC thing? What do you mean? Bernie's too old. And AOC, I mean, AOC might try and be a candidate. That's fine. She's obnoxious. She's young. She's socialist. Good luck. She could be a VP for someone maybe within the Democrats. You feel like GTA 6 will flop? It seems impossible. It's just got too much of a player base for it to flop. And like, how much time do they need to work on this game too? It's insane. Just, they've taken way too long. There's definitely some people that have gotten like just over the whole idea of waiting. Now they're saying it's still gonna be a year. Then they put out a launch date, May 26th of next year. So it's still over a year away. I mean, this is just insane. Doge isn't done yet. Yeah, I mean that's the hope is if they start attacking the auditing the Pentagon, you're gonna save some money. I'm guessing you're gonna find some things. You could probably save 40 or 50 billion at least doing that. Gets around 200 billion and saved. And the entitlements, I think you could find a lot of fraud and bad behavior within the entitlement money. So hopefully, if they look at that, I mean, they might still be able to get to 400 or 500 billion. We don't know. Yeah, yeah, guys. Like the stream, like the live stream. I really should just pin a comment saying like. Probably be easier. What grade would you give Trump first 100 days? I'd give him like a B minus. I think B minus is fine. A lot of it's incomplete. A lot of it's very incomplete. But I'm noticing a lot of good indicators when it comes to the economy. A lot of good early indicators, including the stock market rebounding without any deals done yet. I appreciate the $20 mean AOC on any Democrats ticket is a godsend into Republicans. Yeah, I mean, she's just extremely annoying and obnoxious, and she's too liberal and too young, and so there's a lot of people in the United States don't like that. But I could see her like in terms of a balanced ticket, trying to get a bunch of young people to vote. That's why they got her out there with Bernie Sanders. All these rallies, she goes out there. I mean, every week they're doing a rally. That's the grift with her and Bernie. GTA 6 gonna end up being woke. I mean, but it's like, how can it be woke? It's just an open world game. You think, especially with the fan base, they really can't make it woke, especially with the woke stuff dying now. Where's the link to your X found? Yeah. Well, you got to have an outro. Bernie was kind of based back in 2016. Well, he was always a socialist. I mean, you could say some of the things he proposed would kind of go over well in terms of some of the taxes because they were so small. And that's what you could kind of do in a capitalist society, is if you do really small taxes on certain things on rich people, it can be very popular. I mean, Rogan was someone that really liked Bernie Sanders in 2016. But he was seen as like fighting the establishment, and now he's almost kind of become the establishment. Not really, but he seems more so in tune with them. What is the Polymarket on when GTA will come out? Yeah, I didn't even know Polymarket had a GTA thing come out, and it was at like 85% that it was going to come out by a certain time, and then it just, yeah, here it is, released in 2025. It was at like 70%. Obviously, it's not going to be released in 2025. They've already announced the date. As for when it's going to be released exactly, before June of 2026. Imagine they delayed it again another year. Other people would just boycott the game at that point. What is this? Well, this never happened. Yeah, this never happened. DeepSeek. We need DeepSeek to come out before the end of May at least. Before July. That's R2. Yeah, this has. Come on. This has gotta be. It's gotta come out before July. I need this R2 to come out. What do you think about the military budget being 1 trillion? I think it's a bit concerning, honestly. I'm not understanding. They want to balance the budget. How are you balancing the budget by adding 150 billion to the deficit? But I mean, you can save money elsewhere, and spending money is going to help growth, but it's like, it's like one step forward, two steps back if you're going to spend 150 extra billion, because he wants the military budget at 1.01 trillion. 1.01. We have some planes. Muhammad Atta. Yeah, he didn't realize he was being. He thought he was sending it over the intercom, but I guess they could hear it. That's right. That's a recording. That's you can see on YouTube. Grok 4. Yeah, I think it's like August, honestly. No, they don't even have a. Or do they really not have a freaking. Wow, they don't even have one. But I think Grok 4 is probably September. That'd be my guess. With 3.5, I think is this week, or it already came out. I don't remember. Cutting military spending by 25% would eliminate the national debt by pulling out of NATO and just letting Europe handle defense. No, that wouldn't eliminate the national debt. 25%. If the military budget's 850 billion and you cut it by 25%, that's only cutting like 200 billion. Our deficit is $2 trillion. So you're cutting it from 2 trillion to 1.8 trillion. But a lot of it is entitlements, and also that. I mean, if you wanted to cut it, I wouldn't. There's really not a problem with cutting it. We're forced to keep it at 2% for NATO of the GDP, and it's well over 2%, but it's really irrelevant whether we keep it at 2% or not. It's just we want to have like military global power. By the way, a lot of liberals like having that type of military power. It's interesting. Why increase the military budget again? Who bribed Trump? Yeah, it seems inconsistent. Seems inconsistent of what Trump wanted to do, but yeah, what happened? Someone said about Mike Pence. I mean, I could care less, really. He got a medal or something, someone was saying. Courage Award for his life. Putting his life and career on the line. Oh, man. January 6th again. Who's going to award him this? Dr. Fauci? Hillary Clinton's going to award him this. The JFK Library Foundation presents. Jason, what's up, man? Your thoughts on the Athletics making the playoffs and playing before crowds of 5,000? It's a bad situation, and it's only gonna get worse because of the heat. The heat is so bad in Sacramento, and especially in August. But and they make the playoffs, they'll sell it out. They get like 14K because that's the capacity total, 14K. I mean, it'd be cool for a playoff game at a minor league stadium, but I don't know. The Athletics, I don't think they're making the playoffs. If China can ban apps like X for security reasons, totally reasonable for the United States to ban TikTok as much as you wouldn't support a ban as a cross. Yeah, I mean the TikTok thing. I think TikTok is terrible for kids. It's horrible. But the problem is there's so many other apps. YouTube does the exact same thing with Shorts. Now TikTok, you can say, TikTok has a lot of pro-Palestinian stuff. That's what people say is the reason they're banning it. And the thing is like I understand when people say we should ban it because you say, well, it's like spyware and they're taking all of our data. And then people say, well, Google sells all the data and stuff. Yeah, but those are American companies. It's different. But the problem is like kids would just go to another short form content app. I mean, YouTube has the shorts. Twitter has things to where you can scroll through a bunch of videos. Instagram has it. They all have it. They all have it, whether TikTok exists or not. So if we want to get kids to have better attention spans, it's not going to matter getting rid of TikTok. That's the problem. I don't know how much data they're able to collect, so I really can't comment on whether or not it's like this crazy thing that needs to happen. I don't think the Athletics are going to make the playoffs, honestly, man. Yeah, someone was telling me about that Cuban tweet. I guess I'll take a look at that. Are you considering tariff relief for small businesses? Why do you always mention, a couple of small businesses? What about car businesses? Should small businesses be ignored? Are big into well, I mean, this is when you have something like this with tariffs, it's there's going to be an initial push, there's going to be initial turmoil within some of these businesses. This is just the reality of it. If anything, these people should be happy and saying what Trump is doing is noble because it's he knows it's going to be sacrificed at the beginning of this, and there's going to be things that go up in prices. It's just the reality. But I mean, you're not doing it just to. Do people think Trump's doing it to just get rid of small businesses? That's not the point. Opinion on the lack of due process. Well, I mean, I think it's not. There's just too many people in the country to be able to deport them with all of them getting these court dates. I mean, if you've got like 12 billion people, or 12 million people you got to deport, you're not going to get it. I mean, I don't know what are the exact numbers in terms of people identifying as illegal or being called illegal. They all need due process and court dates. I mean, it's a big issue. There's too many people. They've let too many people in the country, and it's not even just Biden. It's also Trump, and so it's everyone. But we're trying to get them out, and to be able to get them out, it's you have to have all this due process and stuff. And no, the system was not designed to handle 20 million illegal immigrants leaving the country within 3 or 4 years. It just wasn't. Do you think there'll be another 9/11 type attack? And if so, where? I mean, I'm not going to predict another 9/11 attack, man. It's not. The only thing I can think of, it's something like that. No, I'm not going to predict anything like that. A lot of lib real estate women are moving to Dubai and love that guns are banned. You can't insult the religion there. You can't have it. Yeah, moving to Dubai is, I think it's just a dumb choice. Dubai is such a weird way of life. I mean, they definitely have very low crime in Dubai, but there's no way how can you uproot yourself like that and move to Dubai? I just think that's so insane. Are you Mormon? No. AOC kicked a pro-Palestine protester out of a rally the other day. Friendly fire. I think I saw a headline on that. Friendly fire. Do you think Hitler fled to Argentina? No, I don't. Is the economy just waiting for trade deals to become good again? I mean, we've had 9 straight positive days in the S&P. But no, I agree. I think for it to really be kickstarted, a lot of this tariff stuff has to be worked out. There's going to have to be trade deals. And then even with China, there's going to have to be negotiations because, you got 145% tariff on China with how much we trade with them. That's even if we do come to agreements with all these countries, it's still going to be a huge impact. Trump already said the tariffs on China are going to be brought down through negotiations. They're going to have to be brought down. That's how negotiations work. If we're negotiating with the Chinese and we don't bring the 145% tariff down, how the hell are they going to agree to anything? They're going to say, no, we're not going to agree to that. You doubt a 9/11 style attack could happen again. Something that big could definitely happen, but not multiple planes coordinating. Yeah, well, they've definitely upgraded the security when it comes to the cockpit to not allow something like that, but it would be something different. I think it would be more so with bombs. But obviously, we hope nothing happens or anything like that, but you guarantee Hitler went to Argentina. You just need to understand historical context. It's extremely unlikely. Hitler was suffering from Parkinson's. He looked like he was about 20 years older than he really was. You should see the final video of Hitler outside of the chancellery. I believe it was actually everyone said it was April 20th. I think it was before then, but dude, it's not. The information you're getting is very bad. That's honestly a psyop. They came out and said that just these complete bullshit clown accounts who just like this one account's like, oh, it's been confirmed. Hitler fled to Argentina. They just declassified it. No, they didn't. They said they were looking for Hitler. They didn't declassify shit that he actually went there. It's like all this shit on X just is so false and it just spreads everywhere. Like legit. When I saw that, I was like, it's interesting to see how these people react to this information. That's, it's like they tweet it out. It's like what you're tweeting is just not correct. I mean, you're just blatantly lying. Like you are blatantly lying about this. This is not what happened at all. But then they say, well, I mean, they just do it. What do you think about the crazy anti-Semitic Candace Owens stuff? What are you talking about with her and I mean, I haven't seen anything recently on Candace Owens, honestly. I know she's been against Israel, and that's kind of what she's done. But I mean, with her, it's like a cult, and it's constantly with Israel and stuff every day. But I mean, these people, they never comment on stuff where Trump goes against Israel. I think Trump needs to make sure we don't go to war with Iran, and hopefully these people shut up. They really should shut up. I mean, seriously, the whole thing is like, oh, they're trying to weaken Iran. They're the final straw. Well, what if Trump makes a nuclear deal with Iran? Will these people shut up? Probably not. But I mean, that's a huge thing if Trump's able to do it. I hope Trump can make some type of deal with Iran. If there is escalation, it's going to be really bad. Hitler took a submarine to Argentina. Well, why did Goebbels and his kids not follow him? Why did Goebbels murder his kids? Goebbels was one of Hitler's best friends. Why wouldn't Goebbels go with him? So see, when you have to critically think about this stuff. Do you have any interest in European soccer or only U.S. sports? No, I'm not really interested in soccer in general. I never really got into soccer, honestly. So no, I can't really say. I know about Manchester United and stuff, but I don't really watch it. Do you know when the Epstein files are coming out? I think they were just asked about the Epstein files. Pam Bondi said she doesn't know. Yeah, they're radio silent on the Epstein stuff. No specific timeline, that's what it was. probably blocking it, but no specific timeline. Can't take anything you say seriously. Well, dude, I mean, where's your proof? Like, this is like, there's no substance. Thoughts on Adolf Eichmann's defense during the trial in Israel that he would just join the army for his country and was following orders. Well, that was a lot of their defenses in Nuremberg, that they were just following orders. Why do people think Trump was better in 2016 in his first term? Because it has to do with Israel support. But also, I mean, there's no way you can't even grade Trump this term, and all of his stuff is not what went into place yet. I mean, yeah, he's done a lot of executive orders, he's done a lot of good stuff, but you know, a lot of it is going to be happening with it. And they talk about, well, Trump hasn't ended the wars and stuff. Well, it's very complicated, and hopefully the wars get ended, especially the Russia-Ukraine war. But I mean, because a lot of stuff still has yet to happen with Trump. That's why. But a lot of it is like they say, well, he supports Israel more now. That's mainly it. There's mountains of evidence in 2010. It's insanely massive Nazi towns. Yeah, man, I've seen some photos of supposed. So annoying. I just lost 100 freaking viewers because of that. Well, I don't know. It's fucking. I'm gonna get new Wi-Fi or something. So something to do with just it disconnects. I don't even know why. I had to reconnect my Wi-Fi. Yeah, it should be good. I don't know. Start a meme coin and tell everyone to buy the coin and it will get to $1 and we'll all be rich. Yeah, that's not how that works, brother. The only people that can start a meme coin and make money like that, it's like Trump, but you got to be mainstream to do that. And even then, you don't want to have your name attached to that. Ethernet, I should probably get one connected rather than wireless. If the tariff deals don't happen soon, should we worry about a recession? Well, I mean, what does a recession mean exactly? Like, you're talking about back-to-back quarters of negative GDP growth. Is that really is that going to cripple the economy? We just had negative 0.3 GDP growth mainly because Trump stopped spending. So I don't know, I guess it depends what the indicators are and we'll see. But the other thing is it's been positive. The market has been positive at the start of quarter two. I know it was really negative, but now it's rebounded completely. Lots of hardcore groypers are not a fan of Candace because she's grifting off the move. Oh, friendly fire with them. I thought they were together. But, yeah, I don't know about that stuff, man. It's not your Wi-Fi, it's your PC. What, in terms of connection? Yeah, no, you probably are right. It probably is my PC losing the Wi-Fi. Mostly job losses next quarter. Job market's supposed to be bad. I mean, we just got a good jobs report. I don't know about the next one, though. The worry is a return of inflation, recession, or stagflation. Yeah, I mean, the only way that happens is if we don't negotiate deals, I think, is inflation. Then you would be looking at it. Inflation goes up, I think, if we don't get deals done. If we get deals done, I think it calms a lot of things. Also, with the deal with China. Why is the India deal taking so long? It's a very important one. Well, I mean, we haven't had any. There's been no deals that have been done yet. I mean, so, you know, we're gonna get some of these deals done, but it's maybe it's trade deal or something, and we'll be able to find this. 81% chance. Yeah, so there's been rumors of India. I mean, I think most of these should be done hopefully before July. I don't know. I mean, it takes a long time to negotiate these. I know there's a lot of intricate stuff in these. Worst case scenario, King of Canada, Charles III. Yeah, they're not going to do that with the fucking king bullshit, with the royalty shit. They're not going to prevent the separation of Alberta through that. That's ridiculous. I mean, it's funny how people are like, they think there's actually some jurisdiction from like, oh, the king, yet the Trump's not allowed to take over Greenland, but now suddenly it's, oh, they control, the UK still controls Canada. Anything new with Greenland? Trump did talk about it today. Well, in the interview, he talked about it. He said we might need military force. He said he wouldn't rule it out, so we'll see. Heard that Caitlin Collins may get fired and they may give an anchor spot to Scott Jennings. Would that save their network? Really? I'm surprised they would fire her. Seemed like she were kind of picking her to be the rising star there at CNN. Because she's in all the briefings and everything like that, and she's like the lead there at the White House. So, and give it to Scott Jennings? They're not going to give it to Scott Jennings. Can't take anyone seriously. That, bro, you just got salty because I shot down your Hitler stuff, man. I mean, you should watch my videos. Do you have any more videos on Trump's interview? Yeah, there's a lot of video. There's a lot of videos, I'm sure, on the interview. Where is Trump? How's it still light out? $160 billion. We're not finished yet. Left. He's leaving some brilliant people. I mean, did they ask him about?
What do you say to those who believe Elon Musk's chainsaw approach has jeopardized the safety and security of Americans?
Well, he found $160 billion worth of fraud, waste, and abuse. I mean, I think he's done an amazing job. I think his people have done an incredible job. They're brilliant people. They know the computer. I actually asked him, what's their big trait? He said they're unbelievable at computers. In other words, you can't fake them out because these people were, in many cases, crooks. But it was fraud, waste, and abuse. They found, your question should be asked a different way. Were certain things found? Yes. How much? $160 billion. Think of what $160 billion is. He found $160.
He said he'd find $2 trillion.
Well, we're not finished yet. We're not finished
Do you
yet.
think
But when did he say he would find 2 trillion? That's, to me, that's fake. He said it was no. This is what they said. They said they would be able to save 2 trillion. 1 trillion, I think, was through revenue generation by tariffs and other things, and the other trillion was through through the Doge. I don't think it was ever 2 trillion in Doge. Was it? I don't know. Maybe it was originally. Isn't Scott Jennings dating Caitlin Collins? Yeah, that was a funny thing. Remember they had that photo together? Caitlin Collins secretly wishes. I mean, dude, that freaking crash, honestly, that crash cost me. The crash in my stream. He said it at the MSG rally. Yeah, but I always thought it was 1 trillion and then they generate 1 trillion. So it was a total of 2 trillion, but it was only 1 trillion from Doge cuts, but
Are you looking for a new Secretary of Defense, Mr.
No,
President?
not even a little bit. No. Pete's going to be great.
His job is safe right now?
We're doing a fantastic job against the Houthis, who like blowing ships up and watching them sink in the ocean. We're hitting them very hard. No, he's doing a very good job.
His job is safe right now?
Totally safe.
investigate reforming VA benefits. Oh, yeah, there's a ton of entitlements that have to be reformed, but they won't look into it. That's the problem. He's talking about tariffs. He's talking about activist judges. USA could lease 1.6% of federal lands at 10K per acre for 99 years. Raise about 17 trillion. Yeah, there is the new ballroom that's coming. Trump is putting a new upgrading the ballroom, or I don't know if it's a different ballroom or something, but he's spending his money on it. Did you see that George Soros is funding most polls have Trump underwater? Yeah, I'm actually going to look at some of the polls, I think. What was it again? Fuck. What is that polling site? Real Clear, I think. Wait, what was this? Doge days are not quite over. Well, I hope not. Yeah, these are more Republican pollsters. I mean, Emerson, that's decent tie. Rasmussen, Trafalgar, Insider Advantage, those are more Republican pollsters. I mean, some of this stuff I think has got to be improved, you know? Like, a lot of these polls to me at negative double digits are crazy. I think a lot of this has got to be some bad data. And you know, with everything improving, like the economy, this is the crazy psyop that we saw. Cuz he was good on the economy into February and then starting in March. I mean, it's the stock market. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this. Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate it. I was going to end it. Been loving your content, man. I can't see your full name. Theocrat, maybe. I appreciate that, man. Seriously. A whale donation. I appreciate it. To end off the stream. But yeah. I'll just keep making videos and stuff. Is Trump a dictator? Question. Direction of country has been improving, I feel like. Yeah, that's very good improvement for Trump. All right, guys, I'll see ya. Let me mog the camera. 374. That's decent after I lost everyone, honestly. You can barely see the views though.